Hello friend and welcome to a new video. So this is my first sketchbook tour. If you're new here, I'm Afri. Welcome to Afri's Art Journey channel. So yeah, while Ken's on upstairs, I will show you what I painted. So this is the sketchbook I finished. I put a number, like I put a sketchbook 1 because it's actually the first sketchbook I ever finished. You can see I started it in June 2021 and I finished it in July 2023, so in 2 years. And yeah, I've been painting for a long time, from 2018, and I've been very curious all the time to experiment with different papers and different sketchbooks. That's why this is the first one I ever finished, but I also think I was able to finish this one because I loved the paper and I loved the quality of the sketchbook and everything. So you can see it's very well loved. Yeah, I will tell you the story about this later, but I will make first a quick flip through, and then if you want to listen to the story behind the art, you can continue watching the video. So here it goes.
Yeah.
Now we can start with the chatty version of the sketchbook. Let me zoom in a bit. I didn't know what to do on this page, and I just thought, okay, just let's put which sketchbook it is and the dates, because I don't know, it's the first time I finished a sketchbook, and I thought it was a good idea to remember which paper this sketchbook has, and because I really liked it in case I want to buy it in the future. This is a very recent painting. I really like to paint here in the Chateau de Vouliérens. These are the gardens of really nice castle. The problem I see is that here I don't know how to do the background, because there were some background trees and there was not much sky, and I learned a lot with this painting. This painting, we painted it live in my Instagram account because I'm doing a 100 challenge. 100-day project to paint 100 mountains. I'm not doing it every day. I just paint mountains when I want to paint mountains, but one day I will get to 100. This is one of the first paintings I made. I didn't really like the colors. It didn't look like this, but I didn't know really how to represent them yet. And it was one of the First times I went outside to paint, you can see it was on 2020. This was a frozen lake that is so beautiful. And then here there is like a sail. Okay, there is some ice skating sailing here in Switzerland and the French part of the Jura Mountains. And yeah, I thought this was really cool to be in my sketchbook. So this is really the first painting I did. Not the first, I think the second, but yeah, one of the first paintings I did. I went into the forest with my sketchbook, with Kenzo, and yeah, we just wandered until we found a place that looked very beautiful. And honestly, I used to hate this painting. When I started the sketchbook with this painting, I thought, oh my god, this is horrible, everything will be super ugly, etc. But now, 2 years later, I think it's one of my favorites because I really let it go, you know, I didn't try to have a lot of control. So I really like it. I think it's quite fresh. Also here, I remember that I put a lot of water on the spine. So this part of the paper, and the water went into the spine, and I think some glue, some glue detached or something like that. It's not a big deal because I've been able to paint outside without any problem. So this painting is a sunset, as you can see, and the problem is that I was running out of time. I didn't have almost any light when I finished it, and we had to come back home very quickly as well. So what I do sometimes is that if the painting is wet and I don't want to close the sketchbook, I put here a napkin, and that's what you see here, like really the napkin texture everywhere. So I think it's a bit weird, but I really like the colors I got for the sunset. This is a fun outing because I don't remember the year, but I painted both these during the night outside. So this was plein painting as well. It was my first time painting outside during the night, but yeah, I think it was a summer night. So I went outside like at 9 something, and I was able to sketch this tree. I couldn't see the colors like that when I was outside, but then I really liked how it turned out, honestly. Also these little flowers here, and yeah, I think I want to do more night sketching and night painting. It's something really to experiment. Here I remember I was on vacation. I was on the Dune du Pilat, so this is the biggest sand dune in Europe. And wow, the sunset colors were so lovely and beautiful. I had to paint them. And also before sunset, I painted this view. This was in Hosegor on the beach, and yeah, it was a nice time on the beach. So this one was from a watercolor course I followed, and how to create like neutral colors, let's say, using our color wheel here. And then this is very fun because probably you would say, okay, why is day 4, before day 3? And this is because I always start my sketchbooks on a random page. I don't like to say, okay, this is the first page, I will paint first here. No, I really start no matter where, and then I continue like that through the whole sketchbook. So here we have first the day 4 of the Uncomfortable Color Combo Challenge. This was a challenge created by That Creative Space on Instagram. And here people voted for the most hated color combinations, let's say, or uncomfortable color combinations, and then we created some art with that. So here it's a very, very abstract piece. And then, yeah, here are the colors that this day we had to use. And there are some pages like this. So we have also this day 5 with black, turquoise and bright orange. Honestly, I loved this color combination. I don't know why this is uncomfortable, but yeah, I think that was the point of the whole challenge, to see if you discovered a color combination that was a bit weird at the beginning, but that was really interesting. This is one of the first paintings I made as well in this sketchbook. This was outside, I think it was a Sunday or a Saturday. We just drove somewhere. I remember I was here with my friend Gael, and I think she knew one place to go painting, and then we went there and we painted the view. And then sometimes I like to use this part to swatch the colors I'm using in the painting, so this is what's happening here. This is the day 6 of the uncomfortable color combo challenge. We had to use all colors mainly. So this one I made it the same day as this one, but I don't really like it. I didn't even finish it. I was like, okay, let's practice some other color combo, because you will see that I use a lot of greens in my work, so sometimes it's nice to change a bit. This painting is one of my favorite places that I went to when I used to live in Thoiry. So this is Fort Lecluse. It's like an ancient fort, and it's super nice because here you can climb up to a via ferrata with amazing views over the river, and it's just dreamy. And honestly, to paint this view, I had to make my boyfriend stop like in the middle of the road. It was not the middle of the road, okay, but it was kind of on the side, and then I painted it very quick. This was also one of my favorite shops. In Thoiry, I used to live there, and then there was this super beautiful flower shop. It was really a source of inspiration for me every single day. And then I wanted to gift the owner a big painting, A4 painting of the shop from outside. And then this is a little sketch I made. But yeah, it was super fun to paint this. I really like how I try to put a lot of colors inside, like saying there's a lot of colors and flowers inside. So yeah, I really love this painting. This one was, I painted this when I made my first art expo with the painting association where I used to go when I lived in Thoiry as well. So we were waiting there for people to pass by and check the paintings that we were exposing. And then I was a bit bored, honestly, and then I started to paint our stand. This was not only mine, it was also my friend's Gael. So I remember somehow, I think this half was her paintings and this half my paintings. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, we have our paintings here together, and yeah, we brought some vases with flowers to make it more beautiful, and orange cloth. So it was super nice to do this because it's not a masterpiece, but it brings me a lot of memories. Okay, this one is a more mixed media texture one. I started to paint this only with watercolors from some beach in Geneva. I don't remember exactly, maybe Perle du Lac. The Lehman Lake is divided, so half of the lake is Swiss and half of the lake more or less is French. So from the Swiss beaches you can see French side of the lake, and yeah, I thought it was a cute view, and I didn't like the watercolor a lot, so I said, okay, let's try to use it to experiment with mixed media, and then I used a lot of color pencils on top of it. This one is a bit of a similar one. This is the view from my current apartment. I also made like a kind of mixed media. I wanted to use really like random markers like this, or you know, anything I had green to make textures. I don't know if I really love it, but it was fun to make. And I painted this while I was in the office. I think I arrived some minutes before starting a meeting, so this was the view from my office, the building that I see from my seat. This one, I love this spread because this spread was done on October 2021, and I love autumn. Okay, it's my favorite season. And then whenever it's autumn, I tell my boyfriend to pick up the car and look for autumn colors outside, really like brown, golden, red, orange trees, wherever. And then we went to Murren, to this German part of Switzerland, and then we spent there half a day hiking with Kenzo. And then I promise you, the colors were so beautiful. I painted these two paintings inspired by those colors. Okay, this one is a fun one. 1 year ago, I tried to paint this view. This is the Salève. This is a mountain that you can see from Geneva or from the French part next to Geneva. And then I left this painting half finished, okay, because I had a photo shoot with a professional photographer for my website, etc. And then she asked me to paint outside, and then I was painting, but I was super nervous and I don't know what happened, but I hated what I was doing. Like, everything was so wet. I used so much water that yeah, I didn't like it at all. So I forgot about this painting, and then 2 months later I finished it with some wet and dry details with watercolors, and now I really like the result. So really, if you hate a painting in your sketchbook, that's totally fine. Maybe you will save it later as I did, or maybe you won't, and that's completely okay. You practice, you had a fun time painting, so don't worry at all. This is one of my last paintings. You have this, the video of me painting this uploaded in the channel if you want to take a look. This is one beautiful house that I fell in love with when I arrived here to this village. So yeah, I will leave the link somewhere in case you want to watch it. So this one is very recent as well. It's half unfinished. Honestly, I didn't have time to finish more trees that I had here, but then I realized I prefer this view. This was a sunset, always super inspired by sunsets. And here we went up to the mountains with Kenzo, and yeah, it was supposed to be a nice walk, like, yeah, 50-minute, 1 hour walk, like, okay, going up just to see the views. But then we fell in love so much with the place, with the views, with the sunset, that we had to stay there. And then I made a very quick painting. Really, this was done maybe in 10 minutes maximum. And then here I also tried a few different things with markers. I had this brown square here. I don't remember why. I was doing something else for a different project, and then one day I said, okay, let's try to draw here a photo. This is Kenzo, this is me, and this is the same day we went up to the mountain. So yeah, I don't know, I don't love it, but I don't care neither. Okay, you can see I'm really moving the sketchbook around, because when I take it, I don't care how the paintings are. I just take the sketchbook, open it and draw. So I don't really check if it's really interesting for me to see and to show. So here we have two very different things. This first thing was, I was looking for some palettes for a commercial work I had the opportunity to participate in. I mean, I didn't get anything out of it, but yeah, I had to create like some labels from a beer brand, and then I was researching palettes for that. And then here, this is a bit unfinished as well, but I remember I went for a walk with Kenzo, and then there was this, oh my god, autumn trees, like you see here, gold, orange, etc., and some green here. And then I was supposed to paint on top of this, but I had a dinner with my friends and I didn't want to go late, so I just left it like this. And I thought, okay, because this is very close to my home, I will finish it later, but I didn't. And then at home I thought of doing something over on top of this, but I really loved how this looks, you know, as a first layer, and I decided to leave it like this because I really like it. So we are towards the end of the sketchbook, and then here you will see the next 4 pages are really like some Patreon. I think these are some Patreon tutorial from Sarah Burns studio, and then here she was teaching us how to paint wet sand, you know. So this is the beach, and here's this wet sand, and then these are 2 of the paintings I made after the tutorial. I really liked it, and I never realized that wet sand was reflecting colors from the sky, so I think it was super nice. I really love Sarah and the things she paints and how she teaches, so if you can, go check her out. Okay, this was an interesting one as well. We went to make some, I don't know, it's called cross-country skiing. I'm not sure anymore. Like, it's called ski du fond in French. So it's like running, but with skis. And then this is called the Machairut. This is a very beautiful place, full of snow in winter. And then this is one of the tracks to go skiing. And I remember that I painted this after skiing, and I put my palette on the snow because I didn't have really a lot of things. I only had my palette and this sketchbook and not a lot of things. I didn't have a chair or anything. I just sit down on a rock. And then I remember that my paint started to freeze, and also my paper. So you can see here there are funny details on the sky. These are created alone when you use frozen paint, it looks like, and also some green trees in the background were created as well. So this is in Madrid. I hated this painting, honestly, but yeah, at the end now I think it's not so bad. I'm not used to paint buildings, and this is quite famous building in Madrid. So I was there for 2 weeks to visit my family, and I had to go to the city center to do something. I don't remember exactly what. And then I thought, okay, I have 10-15 minutes. Why not sitting down here and sketching this building? And it was really very, very intimidating for me because I used to paint outside, but in nature, okay, there are not so many people around, depends where, okay, but here, like in the city center of Madrid, it was anyway a working day, so there was not that much people, but in the city center is like there's always lots of people. And I remember 2 or 3 people came to say hi and to tell me how they love my painting, etc., even if I was really having a hard time. So yeah, remember that people are always nice. At least to me they were always nice, even if I was not really feeling the painting. Okay, then we come to my favorite last 3 paintings of the sketchbooks. This is one of them. I uploaded a reel painting this one. This was in the botanical gardens of Geneva, and this was like a Japanese pond. There is like a Japanese section of the garden, and then I painted a lot of water lilies, and everything was done with watercolors, and later I added some color pencil on top to make some details. Then the next one, this one was done in the arboretum. So the arboretum is like a kind of natural park in which there is an association that takes care of this natural park, and then they have trees from different parts of the world. So it's not a botanical garden really, because it's an open forest, you know, but then you learn about different trees. And I remember that day I went to a watercolor exhibition, and then when I finished, I was so inspired by the trees that were in full bloom with pink flowers, because it was April, so spring in the northern hemisphere. And I really like to paint this one. I remember I was like on a hill, so this was challenging to paint, but I really love the result now. And this is the last painting of my sketchbook. You have seen this probably a lot of times because I'm making test prints So let me show you. I'm making tests with a lot of different papers to see what I like and what I don't like, etc. So yeah, this is another mountain from the 100 mountain project I'm doing, and this is Fitzroy in Argentina. This mountain is lovely, honestly. The photo was lovely. I used a royalty-free photo, of course, and then, yeah, I don't know why, but the photo was asking me to really use these purple tones everywhere, and I really love purple, so I think that's why I love this spread so much. And it's one of the only double spreads on my sketchbook, so yeah, I'm really happy about it. Well, it's not the only one, and I remember I made this one. I showed you that I didn't like a lot at the beginning, this one. So yeah, I think I'm painting bigger and bigger each time. What I mean is that I feel more comfortable painting bigger, like such a double spread. And then my next sketchbook is much bigger than this one, as you can see. So let me, you see the size comparison. This is a B5 and this is an A5 if I'm not wrong. And yeah, I will not spoil you with my paintings here anyway, but I'm really happy to keep having sketchbooks and continue my creative practice in sketchbooks, because that really removes the pressure from painting on a nice paper. I mean, this sketchbook have nice paper anyway, but yeah, it's making me more comfortable to paint outside and to continue to paint bigger and bigger. So that was all for today. I hope you liked this sketchbook. I am so proud and so happy that I finished my first sketchbook. This makes me want to paint more and finish more sketchbooks, because this really feels like a piece of art for myself, even if not all paintings are great. I'm still wondering if I should add some paintings here to the cover, you know, or some stickers. I'm waiting for a Jackson art supply package that I will receive soon with some acrylic gouache, so I may do something here. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see more of this. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely week. Have a nice day. Bye.